based on yesterday's conversation, I had more thoughts about it and kind of didn't feel like I felt like I just didn't come out how I wanted to. It felt like it was kind of like if you want to be recovered and healthy and not deal with pain and problems and performance stuff, then you can't take vacations, you can't do this, you can't do that, and that's not it. That's not it at all. So what kind of dawned on me was that nervous system stress is like it's happening any which way you put it all the time. And it's a matter of the accumulation, it's the balance of that stress. So it's kind of that idea of like, yes, you're going on a vacation. That's great. Understand that neurologic stress is a part of that. And it's just a balance of it. Ideally, we're in situations where, hey, it's time to stop go mode and get into rest, recover, and relax mode, that we find the activities that balance in the right way, so that vacation does end up being a net positive for your nervous system, not it was great, but it was also very neurologically stressful, and I'm glad I did it, but I'm coming back and it's kind of a continuation of stress. So what's wild is that for a while now, and I didn't really realize it, I've been like, as I'm getting to know somebody, as I'm working with someone, as they're like, even just being a head coach, seeing like getting the emails from parents on what their kids are up to, whatever it is, I found myself asking a question a lot. And the question is, I wonder what's going to happen. So the last examples, like it was summer happened, and I work with a lot of kids that are in school. So they go from this lifestyle of structure, and if with like if the college kids are in this kind of play hard, work hard part of their life. The high school kids are kind of in a elementary version of that play hard, work hard, but they're still under their parents' roofs, they're still under their parents' rules, all that kind of stuff is in play. But that idea, the man, I wonder what's going to happen to how is this going to work out? One of these, the initial thought or initial things was a kid that I coached in a club setting. He played multiple sports. He had a family that was constantly doing stuff, which is great. It was a busy family vibe. And I would get the email, hey, he's not going to be there for this. He's going to choose that. Hey, we'll make it, but we'll make it late. And he's coming from this sport, coming to that sport. And like in the fall, I'm going, okay, like I'll support whatever the kid is interested in. I'm not saying, hey, you need to be in my environment. It doesn't work otherwise. Anything of the sort. Yeah, it kind of creates challenges and complications when you play a team sport and you're not there as a part of a team. It does get hard. We're just getting less of a day the less teammates are there. But I found myself like seeing his lifestyle of go 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 go. Go here, go to school, go home, go do this activity, go do that, go play this sport, fly over there to go play that sport, be late to this sport, be on time to that sport, gone for a week at this sport, back, ready to go in that sport. And I found myself wondering, I wonder what's going to happen to him. And the mentality is, oh, they're kids. They're kids, they can do everything, they bounce back. And for a long time, I've had that another question of going, okay, at what quality? Like, at what quality can they do go, 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 fill their schedule, busy family, busy life mode? And watching this kid go, one of my colleagues at the club was like, man, this kid's going to be good. I went, yeah, if he can hold himself together. And the colleague was like, wait, what do you mean? I went, kid's doing too much. He goes, what are you talking about? Like, he's a kid, like playing soccer, doing other sports, like all over the place. Like, yeah, that's what kids do. Kids can do that. Kids bounce back. Kids are they're like Gumby. They don't get hurt. Nothing happens to them. And I went, yeah, all right. Well, he's good now. We'll see. And we're at a game in like at one of those points where stress accumulates. So if we start in the summer and summer go plans, go here, go there, vacation, sneak this in, sneak a weekend away, play sports, balance those sports, miss this sport for that sport, back and forth, go, 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 go. Then they go into school, and it's a slight like kind of a slight dip on, oh, okay, school is starting, it's new. We're not going to put a lot of demands on those students yet as a school, but from a social perspective, from a neurologic stress perspective, it is a high time. And then they go to school and they settle into their school vibe, which is still go, go, go. I now have homework. I'm not going to sleep at a reasonable time. I'm waking up, rushing to the next thing. Maybe, again, neurologic stress is, I am stressing the system. You are any which way you put it, even if you're just sitting and watching Netflix and eating your favorite snack. It's a neurologic stress. We just have said, well, it's black and white, good or bad. And unfortunately, think of us as humans. Think of, it's more like the color gradient scale. When you can, I like to think of it like that big circle that just has the color gradient. It's like, that's not black and white. Black and white are in there. But man, you could move that cursor just a smudge and have a different color. And that's really how I think we operate. It's not a black and white. It is a spectrum. And every possible scenario is in that spectrum. So if you think about neurologic stress, it's a thing. So this kid, he is playing multiple sports in the fall. He's going to school. He's got his school activities. He's got his family commitments. He's got his social commitments. He's got his work, just going to school. And we're at a game in late November, early December. And that colleague is at that game. He goes, hey, where's this kid? And I got the email that, so-and-so has been hospitalized. He's got some major stomach stuff going on. We can't figure it out. We don't know what's going on. He's not doing well. He'll be fine long-term, we think, but just generally he crashed. And I went, yeah, I wondered what was going to happen. And, gut stuff happened. And my colleague was he remembered. He was like, dude, you kind of called that. It's like, it's not calling it. It's just being aware of neurologic stress, that it is. It's not on or off. It is. And that's just how my brain works. I've got all of my clients up there. When I was a head coach, all of those kids are up there. And there's just this kind of balancing understanding of kind of everything that they're up to. What is an average kid up to? How is the average parent looking at parenting? Get my kids busy, keep them busy, or let's see how great they can get at one thing at a time. And as soon as they lose interest in that one thing, we'll go to something else. But we're not going to try and do all of it all together. So I think that was the foundation of all of that. And that the conversation I had yesterday was, I've had a lot more of those feelings lately. Again, we're in that time of transition between kids are in school to now kids are out of school for summer break. And again, hearing some of these plans, hearing what some of these kids are up to, I go, wonder what's going to happen. And then there are those that I don't know about that have something happen. And then part of my job to help them get back to where they want to be is, what happened? Talk to me about what happened over the last 6 months to get you to this foot pain, this ankle pain, this thumb pain, this back pain, this neck pain, this just go up the scale. We're talking about aches, pains, and injuries. That's the end of you didn't listen to your brain saying, "Hey, I'm accumulating neurologic stress too much to continue on." It's the reduction in performance. Hey, I'm just not playing how I want to. I'm not starting, or I'm not playing as much in games. I'm not going to practice. Whatever it is, that the reduction in performance, the reduction in lifestyle. Again, remember the cascade is as neurologic stress continues to increase without you being able to balance it. And that was some of the things that we talked about yesterday, were like, how do you get out of go mode? How do you balance that and get to a recovery mode, a stop mode, a slow down mode? We're just not good at it at the moment. But walking back through a lot of these health histories of going, you've got a foot problem. Talk to me about it. And to hear like some of the recollections, like there is a lot of travel. There are major stressful events, whether it be finals week or internships or interviews or from the college kids, high school kids, finals, those that are now starting to think about college, plain and simple, those that aren't in that life. The obligations now that you're in summer of now it's time to make up for lost time or just flip the script completely, and we are now in summer mode, staying as absolutely busy as we can. So it's the kid that is playing multiple sports. They're going to 6-hour day camps that are just massive neurologic stresses. They're going on the family vacations. They're going from a tournament to a family vacation. They're going to a tournament and only allowing less than 24 hours before they play to kind of settle in. So now there's compounding neurologic stress happening. And again, the kind of aha for me was, it's not about don't do these things, do those things. It's just a general understanding of when we're awake, or it's not even about wake or sleep. We accumulate neurologic stress, period. It is a foundation of what happens to us as we live. And it's about balancing it. So again, that idea that, I took a vacation, I'm fully rested. No, you're not. Unless that vacation was deliberate around kind of resetting the system, doing things that are good for brains, not just stressful for brains. Like, that's not it either, because vacations are great for brains. Novelty, new things, new sounds, new smells, new people. Like, again, it's this balance. And you'll know if you're not on the right side of that balance, because you'll deal with aches, pains, reductions in performances, illnesses, injuries that keep you out of things. That's how you really understand that the balance is not there. And how do you manage that? How do you actually work with that in real time? So for me, I think about it and go, okay, if neurologic stress and the more of that neurologic stress that is wearing us down is present than the building us up, you'll know, because you'll feel better longer than a day or two after. Like if you get home from the family vacation and go, I'm so glad to be home. I am exhausted. You just need to know that wasn't the right thing to bring the stress down. If you're going out and eating a bunch of food that is cooked at restaurants and kind of fits our economic model of food, which is not about your health, it's about making money, the ingredients are going to create more neurologic stress than less. So like if you were to go into how would you vacate? Like just a general question of like, how could you vacation to ensure that the neurologic stress that you accumulate is actually in your favor? Like, what are you doing for yourself that allows your brain to be happier? It would be an Airbnb where you've got a room, you've got a bed, you've got a reasonably consistent environment. It might be a novel environment. Oh, this isn't my room. The sounds of the neighborhood are different. The lights are different. The just going outside. That novelty could be your brain is going, oh, this is interesting. I kind of like this. So an Airbnb versus like a hotel. If you live in a house in a neighborhood, a hotel neurologically is a pretty darn big stress. You've got people on either side of you, above you, below you. Restaurant food is atrocious. Like there's just the artificially lit halls, not a lot of natural light until you're in your room. It's just so far onto the novel side that for a lot of people that might end up being more stress than rest. And I'm trying to think of a good term for the other. Like, stress is, and it's just good stress and bad stress, really. Like that. I mean, eating is a stress. What you eat, how often you eat, your behaviors around your eating determine the value of that stress. Is it more of a breakdown stress, or is it more of a build-up stress? So going to an Airbnb, having the same room, being in a house. If you live in a house, if you live in an apartment, maybe the hotel idea might be more suitable for you. Maybe that whole house thing might be too much of a shock and a change, that it flies more towards this is more of a break me down stress than a build me up stress. And you can see me working through this process, and that's a big reason I'm doing this, is get things out of my head. Like, it's getting too full. So you're seeing me work through this thought process of what we talked about yesterday, of being in go mode all the time leads to breakdowns, leads to problems. What do you do about it? Going away from that conversation and going, that's not what I was thinking. Like, I would have watched that probably and been like, oh, don't do vacations. That's stupid. Like, this guy's an idiot. But it led to the evolution of this. Oh, no, it is. Nervous system stress is. It's a balance. So going into that Airbnb idea of a vacation, like, you would be cooking your own food more often than you're eating out. And that is so counterintuitive to vacation. I don't want to do that stuff. I think that we're looking like we haven't been taught what are those healthy stresses a lot of the time. So cooking is one of those healthy stresses. Specifically, making sure that you are getting really good quality ingredients is a part of making sure that eating, a neurologic stress, ends up being more on the positive side than the negative side. So cooking meals when you're on vacation. And I know, again, if we were doing it well, I don't have these questions of, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder how this kid is going to break down. I wonder what will get hurt. I wonder if they'll be able to continue, or will it be a severe injury that now they have to take time out to, like, again, your brain's going to win. So if you just keep going, it says, dude, you're not listening. I'm going to shut you down. Hey, now I can't walk. My foot hurts. Now I can't play. My thumb hurts. Now I can't play because my back hurts. Whatever it might be, your brain's going to win this argument at a subconscious level, and it's all based on survival and threat accumulation. And threat stress, we'll kind of call them the same thing, but stress accumulation. So I'm at an Airbnb, I'm cooking meals, and again, no one wants to do that on vacation. I feel so much better when I cook my own food and I use the best ingredients than ever going out and eating that same meal at a restaurant. Because again, to make a living for a restaurant owner who is like, as we learned through the pandemic, like less than a year away from losing their restaurant, pretty much for the most part. Like, I think Like they don't have more overhead than to last for like a couple months. So that's the nature of that industry. So how do you maximize your profit? How do you maximize your gains? Well, you would either have to feed people less, where we are in a quantity world. So like again, we already talked about California putting the calories on fast food. It backfired. They thought, oh, people will understand how unhealthy this choice is, so they won't order it. No, they looked at it as more calories for my value. So higher calorie, more worth it. So that backfired. We didn't know that it would. And so this whole quantity thing, if a restaurant is giving you less food, you're probably not going to go to that restaurant. Like look at Claim Jumper. Like they give you like freaking 2 meals. Look at some of the most popular places on the quantity side. Or on the very popular side, it's about quantity. So they either have to feed you less or they have to get lesser ingredients or figure out how to save money somewhere. So we'll get into food stuff in its own setting, but we'll just call it they sacrifice the quality of their food to make sure that they're making living in the restaurant industry. And I can't blame them. We are a capitalist economy. It's just about knowing these things so that if you are curious of how do I do everything I want to do and stay healthy, where right now it looks like we live in a world where I do everything I want to do and I break down and I break. Just again, a experience recently of asking that question a lot of, wonder what's going to happen. And or, oh, you've got a back problem, you've got a hip problem, you're just not performing at the level that you need to perform, thumb problem, whatever. We walk back through it and I go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense why that happened. Unfortunately, we don't know what to do about it. So going to a doctor is not a reduction in threat. It's not a reduction in stress. It's actually an increase in stress. So I'm already past my tipping point of stress. My brain is telling me, hey, you've got a problem. I'm not going to get rid of it until you do something different. Typically, what it's asking you to do different is balance out the stress. Do good stress stuff, not just bad stress stuff. It's not bad or good either. It is. So it's just do those things that help you feel rested, calmer, more aware than the things that make you feel ramped up, wired, and like hyper focused in the moment. We're kind of getting there a little bit. Again, I'm saying it to myself more than anything that like I'm on to something. Like this kind of thought sparked last night when I was meditating of going, it's not that family vacations are bad. It's not that college ID camps are bad. It's not that this tournament in this place is bad. It's not that. It's just it's a general understanding of the reality of how our nervous systems get through the world. Everything is a stress. What do we do about it? That's where we're at right now, of going go mode leads us to break down and not do the things that we want to do or at the level that we want. So how do we approach that? And I went on that tangent about like a vacation done right, from a where are you staying and how are you eating. Could also go into the activities that you're doing. Do you feel rested and more aware and calmer and happier and feeling more joy, more gratitude, anything of the sort from the things that you're doing? Or are they creating another thing that like I need to take a nap from, I need to rest from, or I find myself angry or irritated or anxious or just generally just a stressful situation? Is what response am I getting from either of those? Like if I'm a kid in a family of 6 and I've got 3 siblings and I'm the one that doesn't like the amusement park, but our family is going to the amusement park, how am I going to do? I'm going to have a major stress response. The family is also going to have a major stress response, but if you love carnival rides, if you love that stuff, the novelty of that experience can make your brain happy. The novelty of the experience and the fear and the scared feeling I have from being in that environment, and that's a real thing. Like, I didn't like carnivals. There was a head injury accumulation to where they used to be like a therapy where I loved it. I loved Disneyland and some of these very calm, mild roller coasters. It got to a point though where I didn't want to go on anything, and I didn't even want to be at the carnival. I didn't even want to be at Disneyland. I wasn't at Disneyland like again after that, so I don't know how I would have responded. But I remember liking Disneyland for the carnival rides, and then I remember like graduating college and going to the state fair with somebody, and I didn't want to do anything. Like I wasn't aware at the time. I didn't know that anything had changed. I had to get better and learn about this stuff neurologically to go, oh, yeah, I hated carnival rides. That's a good history question for, are you dealing with some sort of sensory mismatch? Whether your eyes, your inner ear, your movement system, just they're not working together. That's a big reason why people get car sick, vertigo problems, deal with a major stress from travel. So, yeah, there's that component to it. So for me, it would be a whole different vacation than it would be for one of those family members. So, again, it's just something to consider on, we're in go, go, go mode. We are constantly stressing our nervous systems, and bad stuff happens. And doctors don't know, they don't ask about the 6 months. The only solution they can have is, well, do we give you a pill? Do we give you a surgery? Or do we send you to someone that will focus on that area? But if overall nervous system stress is what got us there in the first place, the biggest reason that surgery, that pill, that PT program will work is because you believe it will work. So if you're gonna go into any of those types of things, believe it's going to work. I never believed that a surgery was going to work for me, even though a doctor told me. I think it was probably the cigarette smoke on his breath. Honestly, subconscious. This guy, who is obviously not healthy, he was overweight, and again, didn't know it at the time. I just went, I'm not doing that. So the subconscious of, he didn't look healthy, he was overweight, you could smell cigarettes on his breath, to tell me that as a college athlete, yeah, we can cut you open and we'll probably find something to fix, and that'll probably help your shoulder pain. It's like, no. Next. Oh, well, are you sure? Like, it's probably going to get worse. Yep, next. Physical therapy. So physical therapy it was. In 6 to 8 weeks. That wasn't really the biggest issue that I was having, but that's what we looked at, and it got to a point where it was like, I think I can play. I'll chew up Advil, I'll tape that shoulder. I think I might be able to play. Not, I can't wait to play again. This thing is fine. It's better than it was. I'm ready to rock. So that was a much different approach. So let's keep going on that idea of, okay, neurologic stress is. How do we know what we need to work on, what we need to do? And again, the neurologic stress that creates novelty to our experience can have a big positive impact. But we need to be aware of the other side of that neurologic stress and see, how do we create a balance out of it? So how you're sleeping, I think, is a big part that will help dictate like what you get from the activities that you're doing. So if you're going to visit grandparents here, and then you're going to go visit a friend there, and you've got 3 flights to make it happen, and you've got a time zone change, and you're going from this elevation to that elevation. Again, it's a stress. If we know that, now we can actually put other stresses in to balance it. Ooh, that's starting to get a little closer. I like that a little bit better. So it would be, hey, I know I'm going, that's it, intention. If you intentionally and if you know that all the things that you want to do are neurologic stress, you can now start to become intentional with your habits and how you are living to make sure that that stress ends up as balancing in your favor of, I just stress the system to ultimately give myself a higher capacity for stress in the future. Oh, I'm starting to like this. Otherwise, if we're unaware and we are unintentional and we don't know that everything that we're doing is neurologic stress, and without the intentional component, we're probably going to end up breaking down from it, not building up. I think that is the biggest thing. So sleep. How many people sleep like really great schedules on their vacations, during their off time, so on and so forth? How many people look at it from a sleep is kind of an accumulative bucket? So I can, you can kind of think of it like a bank account. I can draw from it, and I can also add back into it. I can build kind of a reserve for, I know I'm going into a period where I'm not going to be sleeping as much. You can also make up for those periods. So just knowing that sleep is a big, big factor in making sure that all the things that you do end up on the giving yourself more capacity for stress would be have some sort of sleep schedule during your summer. All of the people that I'm all of these experiences have been with kids that are in school, so that's why you keep hearing it. That we're going to just stay on the summer vacation kind of thought, because I have watched a long time now and going, I wonder what that will do. I wonder what will happen with the go mode that everyone has without the understanding of neurologic stress, without the understanding of stress is, and the intentionality and the awareness is going to allow me to kind of modulate which end I end up on. Do I end up on feeling great and performing at a better level? Wow, I'm so glad I did that. Or am I now a little bit better for a moment? I just stopped, the normal routine of life, but it was such a stressful experience without the intention that I'm actually now even closer to pain, injury, illness. So again, every example that I've been experiencing lately is coming from college, high school, and middle school kids. And I've seen the breakdown happen for years now. And again, the kind of overarching mindset around it is they're kids. They can do everything. They can bounce back. They have endless energy. And again, I go, at what quality? Yes, they can do everything. But how important is it to play well in that tournament? We don't consider it. It's just, that's next. But then I get that kid and go, hey, what have you been up to? Oh, we did this vacation and I did that camp and I'm coming off of this sport, and like 2 days ago we were over there and here we are in this tournament. I get to go, great. And in my head I go, I wonder how well you're going to play. And often those kids don't play well, or they get hurt during that game, during that tournament. And I go, like I've seen that perfectly in these college showcases. They are ultimately 4-day events. They get there, they have the rest of that day, then they play the next day, they play the next day, they play on Sunday, so they're getting in on Thursday, they're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they're going home. Whether they know it or not, the college coaches know there's no point going to Sunday, because the accumulation of stress is not working in that athlete's favor, and they are going to play terribly. And that was the least favorite day for me to be a coach in that environment. I'm watching exhausted kids not play well personally, not play well as a team, and neither is the other team. So it's just this of a game. And it was my least favorite part of these trips. Like, we're spending thousands of dollars to be here to just watch kids deteriorate over 4 days because there are no stress considerations to make sure that they are performing well, like device limitations. You don't get to be on your screen because that stress is going to put you further into a hole. You don't, oh, okay, no screen. So the kids just watch TV. Not that much better. Yes, a little bit more eye movement, at least a depth that's a little different than face parallel to floor, phone 5-6 inches from their noses. There's no food considerations. There's no activity considerations. There's no, let's stress the system in this way to get some recovery. So these kids just get there. There's no flight considerations. So these kids just get there and do this over 4 days. And it's just, it feels like an absolute waste of money and time. Yes, they played a third game poorly. I've also experienced the other side of that as a performance coach for an academy. We made travel considerations. We made food considerations. We made activity it was my job. I made activity considerations, all with the idea of how do we ensure these kids play the absolute best over this showcase. And it was different. It was completely different than anything that I have experienced since. And we saw the results. We saw players not getting injured during these showcases, playing very, very well over 3 or 4 days. And it was very, very different. So again, it's recognizing that neurologic stress is. It's good, it's bad, it's how we use it, it's the things that we do, it's the habits that we have that determine if it breaks us down further or if it starts to build us up. I'm starting to really like that. I haven't boiled it down to be very, very, very precise in my head or verbally, but it's really getting there. So what do you do about that? We talked about go mode yesterday. Just being in go mode the whole time just wears you down. So the idea, and today we're recognizing that it's not about go mode or stop mode. It's about recognizing what any activity, any behavior is doing to us from a neurologic stress perspective. And we just don't have that education yet. We don't have that world of, again, the average opinion is kids can do everything. Yes, absolutely. We wouldn't have that opinion if they weren't. I've noticed from a neurologic lens, from this applied neurology education, that doing everything comes with a cost. It's a spectrum. It's a sliding here and there. It's not black and white. So yes, your family vacation during the summer can absolutely do positive things. It can also, at the same time it's doing positive things, do negative things. And it's a matter of recognizing that and seeing if you can balance that event in your favor to be good stress, not bad stress. It's not good or bad. It's build up or break down, something. It's the idea that flights, yes, they get you to a novel place. They get you to a novel experience. The idea of traveling somewhere is exciting. There's a stress. Some of it's good. Then there's the neurologic stress of sitting in a tin can, having sensory mismatch for as long as that flight is going, eating very, very poor snacks if you're eating whatever they give you, maybe not drinking much water, Kids drink, like, just eating garbage foods all flight. They stare at their phone. They are playing games. Like, it's again, it's just a balancing act. So I think that's what I ultimately hope that people start to understand, especially if they listen to this, is that every activity has, I will just call it good and bad right now because it keeps popping up. It has good and bad stress to it. Neurologic stress it's foundational. Everything is a stress. We can kind of favor favor more of one side of that spectrum than the other. Meaning, if I know I'm traveling, I can do things with myself, my own behavior, to ensure a lesser negative stress from that travel. Think about the college ID camp world. That's a lot of stress. Hey, I'm flying in. I'm not giving myself really any time to prepare neurologically or mentally. We don't know that we need to. We don't know that we should spend some time in the place that we want to perform before we have to perform in it. So again, it's just, we're naive. We're naive to neurologic stress, and we think that we can do everything. And then we wonder, oh yeah, I just got sick. No, you earned a sickness. Oh, I just got hurt, whatever. My foot's broken now. No, you earned a broken foot. Like, it's an accumulation event. And a big part is what you came into that event with. Like most kids are burnt out. They've just finished school, they just finished finals, they just got a tryout for a new team, and then boom, go mode. Family vacations, summer camps, activities, being with friends all day. Again, there are absolute positives to all of it. But if you're dealing with aches, pains, injuries, illness, not performing at the level that you want, you know that you have balanced that stress out of your favor. So, yeah. That was the evolution of that thought from yesterday of going, go mode needs to have a balance of stop mode. And it's much more I need to stress my nervous system in a different way that helps me recover actively. So going into some of those things again, sleep. Don't have, behavior is that there's another layer. Behavior is really what dictates the level of stress in a good way or a bad way. Sleep, you can consider it being a stress. There's your nervous system is repairing. Your body is doing all sorts of stuff to get you ready for the next day. You're compiling thoughts. You're using calories. You're using water. It's a stress. How can you make sure that stress is a good stress or a build back up stress? Have behaviors around sleep. Do you have a bedtime? Consider one. Do you have a wake time? Consider one. Is that wake time or is that bedtime consistent? The bedtime, I would say, being more consistent is more important than the wake time. So go to bed at the same time every night. What is your behavior around sleep? Are you on a device within an hour before bed? Do you have all the lights on in the place that you're at within an hour before bed? Are you eating a bunch within an hour before bed? Are you drinking a bunch of water, drinking a bunch of anything within an hour before bed? Ideally, you are not on screens. You are not in artificial light. If you are in artificial light, it is not overhead. It is more like lamps and stuff like that. It's not the flip the light switch, all of the lights go on overhead mode. You're not on that device. You're not eating a big meal within that hour. You do need to digest. Digestion is a stress. Food is a stress. And that's a way that you can make food a bad stress is let me fill up my stomach and then and then go to sleep. That's a lot for your brain and body to have to handle. What are your behaviors around waking up? Are you waking up and getting on your phone? Are you waking up and getting into a stressful situation? Are you waking up without any time to just let my day start? Is it, oh boy, I'm late, do this, do that, slam something for breakfast and I'm out the door? That's a much different approach than, hey, we're not going to schedule anything. worth doing within an hour of waking up. We're going to or we've got that tour to do in Italy. We're on vacation. We need to make sure that we're up sooner so that we can have a leisurely, comfortable breakfast. We don't have to rush to one thing to the next. We can just take it as it comes. So that would be kind of behaviors and that's it. Like stress is our behaviors. I'm glad I talked about it. Neurologic stress is our behaviors are daily determine the value of that stress. Stress can be a positive. Stress can be a negative. I'm experiencing with most people that they don't have behaviors in place to ensure stress is a positive. So stress ends up being a negative, and I get to see, like if I hear about their lifestyle as they're going through it, I go, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what's going to break down. It's the example of the multi-sport athlete in the middle of school with family obligations, social obligations, bouncing from this to that, and my colleague saying, "Oh, that kid's great," and I went, "Yeah, for now, we'll see." I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean?" It's like, I think he might be doing too much. I think he's gonna break down, and I've seen that in some of the matches that we've been playing recently. And then, sure enough, we are at a match. That colleague is there. He goes, "Oh, where's so and so?" I went, such bad stomach stuff. He got hospitalized. Had to go to the ER. And they haven't figured it out, and they don't know what's up, and he's got like pretty much debilitating stomach issues." And he goes, "That's weird that you called that." Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know something's going to happen. So, and then the other clients of recent of, "Hey, I broke this. Hey, this hurts. Hey, that hurts. Hey, whatever," is okay. Talk to me. Let's look at let's start with a few weeks, but ultimately up to 6 months, and talk to me about it. It's like multiple trips, multiple travel, like stressful events behavior-wise. Hey, I've got an internship interview. I've got an internship. My sleep schedule is completely different. I'm not aware of what I eat. I'm not concerned with what I eat. Or I'm a college kid and I'm on the meal plan and the college food is terrible. Lots of different ways to get there. But again, I look back at it and go, yep, your breakdown makes sense. Whatever it is, musculature, bone, ligament, discs, just general performance. I'm just not playing how I want to play to go do that. Or I'm at an event and I'm declining in my play. Like I would look at it and go, it makes sense. And I think that's the next step is, hey, be aware of your behavior. Your behavior is going to dictate how you get through the things that you're doing. If you are going into them stressed from where you came from and you've got all of your day planned and it's got to go to this, got to go to that, got to go to this, got to make sure we get this in, got to hit this restaurant, got to get that activity, your behavior is probably leading you to a path of decreased performance, aches, pains that don't go away easily, leading into injury and or illness. And we have a good capacity. Like, this doesn't happen in a week. Like, I'm seeing this happen, and again, it's just kind of an odd awareness thing that I have of going, boy, this person is gonna break down, or this person broke down. They're here to see me. Tell me about where you came from. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. So it happens over a bigger period of time than you would imagine. So if you looked at the average kid, starting in, let's start with, let's just start with a year. Start with January. So what is a kid up to in January? They're coming off of Christmas break. They're coming or holiday break. They're coming off of New Year's. They have had a 3-ish week break from school. and they get back to school, and the stresses of life, the school stuff is creeping up. They go January, February, March, they've got a spring break. They get a week off. They're doing okay. They're probably, I don't get a lot of, the kid broke down during this period of time. I don't see a ton of illness at that time. March, April, May, they're starting to get into the end of school mode. They're starting to get excited that they don't have to go to school anymore. As you get older, the stress starts to ramp up there because of finals and just completing a term. So you end typically with a pretty big stress. And then summer hits and you go, yes. Your sleep changes, your food changes, your environment changes. You've got more different things on your schedule. I see most get through the first month or so. Then the problems start. Midsummer, you start getting aches and pains, and you feel a little bit worn down, and you want to sleep more, and you just want to kind of do the easier things. Maybe you don't want the structure, and typically there's some sort of a roadblock that gets put into place from your nervous system because you are now in a completely different go mode than you were in school. But it goes away, it resolves itself because now you're back into the structure of your school mode. Your sleep is more consistent, your food is more consistent, your environment is more consistent. Again, your behavior really dictates good breakdown or build up from a nervous system perspective. So the behaviors are a lot more normal. They could be bad, and if you're dealing with aches and pains in that way, ultimately we have to look at that and go, oh, your normal behaviors aren't good enough to support you doing the things that you want. So the idea that a summer is going to help that, but this is like, I do have a sleep schedule. I'm pretty on top of homework. I eat relatively the same way. Typically those people are not breaking down so heavily in that midsummer, late summer mode. Then they're back into school. Where is that first crash mode? Anyone hear of that Thanksgiving break sickness? I used to get sick every Thanksgiving break. I hear a lot of people, a lot of kids get sick, have problems during that Thanksgiving break. Well, if we look from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, we're like 9-10 months later. And if we just lived for a year, that would be fine. We would be able to manage it. Like, oh, all right, I broke down and whatever. But it repeats. So my first breakdown is now November. A lot of people end up sick, something of the sort, in December. They have some sort of illness, some sort of performance issue, some sort of ache, some sort of pain, some sort of injury. And then it just compounds because we add another year. And then we add another year. So this idea is that we just kind of ebb and flow. There are goods, there are bads, there's good stress, there's bad stress. But unfortunately, we never get on top of it. So our good stress, bad stress, tendency is that we decline. If we want it to be different and I want to be better as time goes on, I need to do a better job of recognizing my own behavior and where I'm adding good stress and I'm adding bad stress, so that we can go, hey, good stress time. Oh, I'm in a kind of decline bad stress time. Let me do more things to get good stress. Little bad stress, little more good stress. And we start to see that we get better with things, or we get better at what we do over time. So we don't deal with the aches, pains, etc. at those windows. And again, how do you maximize, how do you use good stress on purpose? It would be go on the vacation. There's so many positive stress. Put behaviors that ensure that. Put good sleep habits around. Not nice, I'm on vacation, I'll go to sleep whenever I want, I'll wake up whenever I want. I inherently know that approach. That's what I lived. But again, The tipping point for me was the applied neurology education. I was on an absolute decline to that point. I was performing worse. My mind was worse. I had more negative chatter. I had more negative thought processes. I was not performing at the level that I wanted to. My sleep is terrible. My food, I didn't know any better. I'm doing this. And unfortunately, the ups became a lot less. So I know this intuitively. I know what it feels like to break down. And I also know post applied neurology education on what it feels like to build back or to build up, to get better at things, to not deal with or to recognize the down parts of life and do things actively to get back to an up. So we talked about sleep. We talked about food. Well, I'm not going to cook while I'm on vacation. So what are we going to do? We'll have a conversation around that later. It's about ingredients. It's 100. So go to a country that doesn't allow absolute garbage ingredients like our country does, and you're already better off. How many people leave our country, eat and feel better, versus come to our country, eat and feel worse is pretty obvious at this point. We do not care about the health of our people. We don't. Otherwise, we wouldn't allow these companies to cut so many corners and with our health at the expense. So how you're eating on vacation, what activities you're choosing. Like, are they stressful in a really relaxing, enjoyable, slowing down, becoming more aware mode? Or are they keeping you amped up, keeping you ramped up, keeping you unaware of your own behavior, and ultimately keeping you busy? We're busy. We went here, then we went there, then we went here, then we went there, then we went there. Go to the beach and spend 6 hours. Bring food, bring a snack. Don't look at it as a agenda checkbox. And a lot of people will go, oh, that's how I work. Well, maybe you're stuck in the go, 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 go mode, and you haven't had an idea of how to get back. And most people that I know in go, go, go mode deal with stuff. They deal with health things. They deal with breakdown. They deal with those things. So, yeah, behavior. I'm like, we're into something here. The behavior around travel, behavior around what you're eating, behavior around what activities you're providing yourself for these vacations. Again, nervous system stress it's a thing. How we behave dictates its value. Are we doing things that help build me back up and provide kind of protection against future stress? Or am I behaving in a way that is compounding stress, making it worse to the point where I get back from my family vacation and I don't play how I want to, and I end up hurt? Interesting. It's a fun thought process. I think it is an evolution and a paradigm shift that I do not believe that kids can do everything at a quality worth doing. I think that we are humans that, whether you know it or not, want to find something to be amazing at. That would be very similar to our evolutionary history in the sense that if I'm a part of a village, I'm not doing everything for the village. I have my role for the village. I think that is very much more what we're wired for still than let me do everything. Not that great. Think about the hunter that doesn't catch food every day for the village. We don't want him. We want the person that is so good at hunting that we don't have to worry about eating today. We want the forager that is so good at foraging that we know that we're going to have sustenance in time periods where animals are scarce. I don't want it's just an off day. I just didn't do that well today. People in that environment. We want someone that is amazing at what they are tasked to do. So this idea of let me be a human that is amazing at everything, you're never going to get there. Find something, pursue it, be the absolute best at it, and you will find probably that these things aren't so prevalent. But as long as we are treating kids like they are endless energy, they don't get hurt, they bounce back from everything, and we just need to keep them busy. I'm not a believer of that. I think that if your kid is not interested in anything, you just haven't found the right thing yet. Keep looking. Keep putting different things in front of them until you go, hey, my kid always wants to do this. Support it. There's probably a really good reason why, and it's probably going to help them tremendously. And it will probably help them avoid I get to see the heartache of, I can't do what I want to do now. Well, we earned that. And if we start understanding that as a society, I think that things can kind of change, especially for kids. The adults, that's why I don't work with the average adult. They're hardwired into this world. So to think a vision drill could help my back problem, that's not on their radar. It's like, no, go to the physical therapist, work on the strength and flexibility. It's a flexibility problem. No, it's a brain problem at the end of the day. It's the foundational concept of all of it. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Recap for myself, neurologic stress is. It is happening in the good things that you're doing and the bad things that you're doing. It is. How do you make sure that you are pointing it in the direction of growth and building versus breakdown and decline? How we behave, what our habits are, what our behaviors are around the things that we're doing. A vacation can bring you back feeling completely refreshed, motivated, ready to tackle new things, ready to show up and do better than you thought than your best was. You found a new best. They can also lead you to get back, underperform, and get hurt. I feel a lot better about that.